Hey, what's up? I hope you are doing well. Today, we are in a beautiful place at the moment called Tulbach. It's like this surrounding farm area, and we've got mountains and clouds, and we've got the bush, and we've got the birds chirping in the background. We've got all these winers. I think it's apples, to be honest. I'm not even sure. Maybe apples, it could be citrus, but we've got all these beautiful things, and it kind of like ties up to what I want to say today. Oh, I just had this feeling like, you know what, this is what I want to do. And I actually brought the camera because I knew this was going to happen. I just knew it, right? I know myself, and that I would want to speak about it. And that is obviously to do a lot of it is to do with gratefulness. But when you think about gratefulness, you think about, okay, what are you grateful for? Okay, and then there's all these little things like, okay, I'm grateful for this and that, and to have enough money for this. I'm grateful for my wife. I'm grateful for, you know, air to breathe. You can go really down nitty gritty to the small things. But the things for me, or the main thing is basically just I'm grateful for my mind, in a sense that I listened and watched videos. I'm so grateful for 2024, to be honest, or just our future generation, and the future that's still coming, and obviously the time that we are living in now, because you can access anything. If you want to know how to change a tire, I mean, you can ask your father or even your mother nowadays, but you can ask anyone. But you can just go onto YouTube. You can Google. You can find out how to do it. You can how to edit a video, how to set up a mic. Anything like that you can find on YouTube. So the future is quite. It's cool to live in this time, but what we sometimes forget is that the old things in the past still has a massive role in today's life. You know, I'm reading the book with Marcus Aurelius at the moment called Meditations. I'm still in the beginning, so I'm not going to talk about that too much because, but I know what it's about. But anyway, the point is there's so much value because I'm reading the Bible as well. There's so much wisdom and value in that book, or any of the older books out there. There's a book called How to Play no How to Play the Game no How to Live Your Life. Life is a Game and How to Play It. Something like that. I'll put the book up here. Let's rather do that. It's a really cool book. It's like a short 2-hour read, to be honest. You can finish it in 2 hours. And I normally just put it on, I listen to an audiobook, right? And it's really cool. But anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is in that specific book and in other books that I've read, and why I'm mentioning like how it's nice to live in a time like this, because now in the past you never knew how people made it, but here you can actually watch videos and testimonies of people that actually became super successful, or basically the successful people. You can hear how they did it. You can watch videos of 10 years ago where they were and see like, holy shit, they were actually just normal people. Maybe they were car salesmen. Maybe they were hustling in the streets or whatever. Now they're super successful. And so then you can start asking questions. But how did they get there? How did they get from A to Z, where they are now? Like, it's incredible. And then once you find out how they did it, you can kind of like copy and paste that blueprint. It might not be exactly the same. It might not be the same time. But I honestly believe that you will get it. All right? And that's why, like I said, I started with gratefulness and stuff and the small things. I'm grateful for this time and for my mind to pick these things up, because a lot of people don't. They go through life, unfortunately, just accepting that, this is it. This is my life. This is what I'm meant to do. Even though I don't necessarily want to, this is where I am, and I'm just going to do it. And that is fine. If that is something that you love, a lot of people maybe say, maybe they work at a pet shop or, somewhere, and they actually enjoy what they do. They love being around animals, and they love spending time with them and feeding them and seeing them grow up and, speaking to the customers and things like that. People love that. That's beautiful. But for those that are, at that job, for instance, because it's, a way to pay their rent and stuff, and they want to get out, but they don't do anything about it, and they believe like this is where they are, they're stuck. That is for you. This is the message for you, that you have to believe. And again, from watching videos, this is a beautiful video that I'm not going to take ownership of it because it's not mine. But I watched it this morning actually in bed, and it was this video of Conor McGregor and Cristiano Ronaldo. They were in a practice ring in the octagon, and they were just talking, and this is obviously a voiceover of, well, not a voiceover, it was a recording of Conor McGregor saying that, I want a jet. I want a jet. And Ronaldo said, and he said, do you have a jet, Ronaldo? And Ronaldo said, yes, I do. I actually do have a jet. And then he said, I also want a jet. And I see you're number one on Forbes. I also want to be number one on Forbes. I'm number 35 at the moment, right? Richest man. And then it switches. Oh, and then Cristiano Ronaldo says Conor McGregor says maybe next year he'll have a jet. And Conor McGregor, Ronaldo says, I don't know, maybe not that soon. But they were joking and talking. It's just conversation, right? But he put it out in the world. And that's what he then it switches, this video that I watched, it switches to the, like obviously a year later, where it came up, the stats, where Cristiano Ronaldo was third list Forbes, and number one was Conor McGregor. And then obviously it switches again to a clip where he says, if you can, and this is what I want to tell you. This is the main thing of why I'm making this video. I want to tell you this, but I can't take ownership of it because it's Conor McGregor, but I'm still putting it out there if you haven't watched that video yet. He says, if you can believe it in your heart, if you can honestly believe that you can, and you have the courage, you have enough courage to speak it, right? Then it's going to happen. That is what he says. And that is what I believe, because everything that I have now, it's not a lot, but it's a hell of a lot more than what I had before. And all of these things, and you've probably heard that quote as well, but all of these things that I have now, I prayed for before. I wished before. I said I will have them, right? It's small things now, but you never hear me speak negative about my future. If you really know me, if you hang around me and you spend some time with me, you know that I never really say stuff like, it's not good. I'm even too afraid to say bad stuff now, but I never say negative things like, I'm not going to make it in the future, or I'm not going to do this. I'm always positive, and I always speak really good things into existence. And not because people say I should. It's because I honestly believe, and I have the courage to say that I'm going to be there. I'm going to get what I want. I'm going to be wealthy. I don't necessarily want it yet, but if that is something that comes my way, I'll take it, because that's how big and how great I want to be. And to be honest, I want to do that for myself, because you're only on this planet Earth, this beautiful place, like I just said, for a short amount of time, and people will come and they will go, and they will probably not remember you, right? So whether you do good or bad, people will potentially forget. So I am the only one that is existing in this very moment in my life. So I want to make the best of my life. And by doing good things for other people makes me feel good. But I can't do so if I don't have money, if I don't have, status, if I don't have, you can only reach so many people. Okay? So in order to help a significant amount of people, you have to become a significant person. So that's the goal. And I mean, I know it sounds like I'm talking about myself, but this whole thing is about you, right? If you have the belief in your heart that you can do whatever it is that you have here in your brain, in your heart, that you believe, and you have the courage to speak it, it's going to happen. I'm telling you now. Because remember, whatever you do, as soon as you say something, you speak something, right? Your body's automatically going to just kind of do it. And I've said this many times. I always use it I use boxing as an example. But if you say that you want to become the heavyweight boxer of the world, or any boxer, the weight doesn't matter. But you want to be a championship boxer, right? Champion. As soon as you speak it and it's something that you believe in, what's the next step? You're not going to sit at home and do nothing, right? You're probably going to, go run to get fit, because boxers need to be fit. You're probably going to buy a boxing gloves and maybe a boxing bag and just start hitting at home, even though you suck. And eventually, with time, because you're now realizing this is fun, I'm enjoying this, and I'm actually getting better, you're going to get a coach. You're going to maybe join a club so that people can teach you better things. And then you enter this weird amateur championships that they have, and you start, winning there. And eventually you push harder and you become a pro, and then you work your way up the ranks and you become champion. You understand? Everything needs your input too. So you can't just, just believe and, speak it. You have to do it as well. But those two things, dream it in your heart and the courage to speak it, those are beautiful things. So I wanted to leave you with that. Hopefully you find value in this video. I'm out of breath. I'm out of breath speaking because I want to get this value out to you in a compact video, because I know not a lot of people watch a video like this from the beginning to the end because they feel like, oh, it's boring. But I know that there are people that do, and that they can find value in it. The same way I watch videos, and I sometimes sit half an hour just listening to this guy speak. And yes, maybe 20% or 20 minutes of it is not necessarily valuable, but that 10 minutes makes a massive difference where he actually speaks about value. So if you listen to it all the way to here, well done. Anyway, have a beautiful day. We'll chat again. Cheers.